All right, everyone, I have made it to the intersection of Railroad Avenue and Charles Street, and what's cool about this intersection is that this meant a lot to the African-American community of Donaldsonville. And what's also cool is that when you come out to this intersection, you can actually explore a museum that shares a little bit of that history. Let's go learn a little bit more about the River Road African-American Museum. All right, everyone, joining me now is the Executive Director and Co-Founder of the River Road African American Museum. Please help me welcome Mr. Daryl Hambrick. Hello.
Well, hi, thank you. Welcome to Donaldsonville. Welcome to the River Road African American Museum.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. And let me just say, so much to see here, which I think is awesome. And the mission of this museum is also awesome. Please tell everybody what that mission is.
Well, when you talk about a museum, you talk about history, you talk about culture, you talk about art, and music, of course. And so our job here at the River Road Museum is to interpret, collect, and to share with the world what this history represents and how important it is to not only to African American history, but to America's history.
So true, and you can see that all throughout the different exhibits here at the museum. You have one on slavery, one on Reconstruction, a culinary exhibit, and this exhibit, which we're standing in right now, this celebrates the rural roots of jazz. Explain what we can see here when we come check this area out.
Rural roots of jazz, why would we call it that? I mean, there were many musicians who lived throughout the parishes next to New Orleans. They left these small parishes, moved into New Orleans, and became famous. And when you asked them where they're from, they would never tell you that they were from Napoleonville or Donaldsonville. They would say they were from New Orleans. And so we did the research and found out that many of them got their starts right here in the river parishes. So we claim jazz as part of our rural roots here in Donaldsonville.
That is so interesting. And when you come to this area of the museum, there are several interesting things that you learn about some people who are right from this area. First, tell us about Plas Johnson.
Well, Plas Johnson is the musician who actually plays the theme song from the cartoon, The Pink Panther. And I mean, I grew up watching this as a kid, and I'm quite sure most kids today don't even have a clue that Plas Johnson was someone who was born here in Ascension Parish, right here in Donaldsonville, and is this great musician from this great cartoon.
That is so cool, and one that I also found really interesting reading all the different placards here. I'm a big fan of the color purple, and someone is also featured in this museum who has a connection to that. Tell me about him.
Well, Bill Summers, one of the great percussionists who was born right here in Ascension Parish in the town of Darrow, Louisiana. And if you know your history or know your music and follow Bill Summers, you'll know that he was part of the Color Purple, he was part of The Roots, the movie Alex Haley, as well as played with Herbie Hancock and has been a great percussionist throughout the music genre. So.
That is amazing. So much to see here at this museum, everyone. And what's also cool is that there's a virtual option. All you need to have is a QR code. You're seeing that QR code on your screen on how you can take a look at the virtual tour. But the best way to come and experience this museum, come see it in person. The address is 406 Charles Street, right here in Donaldsonville. You can give a call to 225-474-5553 to set up an appointment, because the only way to take a tour right now is by appointment only. For more information about everything they offer here, head over to aamuseum.org.